beautiful day. What a beautiful day. I'm in Gideon, Missouri, which is a town of 1,000 people. And they just paid me to entertain their folks at health and rehab. 1,000 people in this town, y'all. It's like a cluster of old town stuff and small town, mostly farmland around it. But I played here. Why is this significant? Because of the routing. So I played in Kennett, Missouri. Kennett, Missouri is about, it took me an hour and 45 minutes to drive there, but they have a health and rehab. So I played there. Yeah, so I played there this morning, 10 a.m. And then I drove like 30 minutes north to Gideon, just 30 minutes. And it was great. And now, here's a significant part. I'm driving to Cape Girardeau. Cape Girardeau, it's about, I guess you could say it's about halfway between Memphis and St. Louis. And never played in Cape Girardeau before. But I travel about a 3-hour radius. Now I'm pushing that to 4 recently because I'm noticing that there's just such greater opportunity if you go out to 4, because with 4 hours, then I can get to Birmingham, for example, and I'm playing there in May. I can get to Huntsville, Alabama. I can get to St. Louis even in about 4 hours. But with a long trip like that, routing is important. Routing is something that I kind of learned by being on the road with the Ghost Town Blues Band and being a victim of bad routing, and I didn't like it. There was one time we drove all the way to Calgary straight. We drove to Calgary, Canada, straight. And it was like 36 hours in a van. 36 hours. You fall asleep, and then you wake up, and then you still have to drive for 24 hours. Now, we did shifts and everything. We took some breaks, but that was just so bad to me that I promised myself that I would route better in my next venture. Now, I didn't do the routing there, but I was routed. Anyways, that's part of why I like the routing so much, because I do this in a day, y'all. I woke up this morning, exercised, ate breakfast, and then hit the road. I was on the road about 9 o'clock. I'm kind of tired. I'm going to get some coffee. I was on the road 9 o'clock, drove to Kennett, Missouri, and then drove to Gideon, Missouri. Now, one thing about Gideon, Missouri is there's a lot of farmland, so I've passed like 5 or 6 tractors, like sometimes big tractors hauling big pieces of equipment. I had to hop off the side of the road, and I drove 4 miles on a dirt road today, y'all. That was exciting. It was also exciting because at that time, I didn't know if my car was telling me that I had the correct amount of gas in the car, and I got to Kennett with 10 miles left in the tank. That's like a third of a tank left. Interesting ironwork there. So that's a little bit about routing. I love the routing. Filling up my Cape Girardeau calendar, and sometimes when I break into a new city, then I kind of take what I can get. For example, I think the first time that I played in Nashville, I played 2 gigs. I tried hard, but I could only get 2 gigs on that same day. But then the next time I did 3. So it builds. Same with Huntsville and Birmingham. Huntsville and Birmingham, I drove out, played one in Huntsville, and then I drove down to play one in Birmingham. Just 2 gigs. It took me like 3.5 hours to get to Huntsville. Well, Madison really, which is west of Huntsville, so it wasn't as far. And then I drove like 2 hours to get to Birmingham from Huntsville, Alabama. So there's some routing there, y'all. But I made $300 that day, paid for a tank of gas, and then some profit. And I made some connections there. So those places, they hire me again. That's the thing. Big businesses like Costco call it a loss leader. You know how they can sell hot dogs for $1.50? Well, they don't make any money. They probably lose money on the hot dogs. But people go in for the hot dogs and then come out with a big screen TV and $400 worth of bulk items. It's a loss leader. And I don't even really lose. But I discount my first gig. So there's a bonus I discount. Since I raised my prices, the discount's even steeper. Routing. I love it.